Okay, and we're back with another the life and suffering of Sir Brante. So in the last stream, what happened is that I decided to redo the chapter. Well, basically, as a Lotless, but then like it seems that Sophia is still the old Sophia, not the cold-hearted Sophia, is still there. Okay, but since she did went through a lot, she's like kind of hardened. But we can see her old self slipping by. Now, what I'm trying to do is like more of a romancing her way, romance her, and hopefully we can get back to her old, naive self. Because I actually like yesterday, like kind of redid the whole thing, and like we managed to save Sophia from the first death. Okay, and I see that she remembers that, and there's like I feel like there's minor changes. That she believe us to be, the kind-hearted person. So if we take a look here where the relationship tab, Sophia, her former neighbor, she was in the service of Archnan Doris Auden before fleeing Anazot in the capital. She became a rebel and founding the secret society of the Lotless. She's leading a fight against the Empire Unjust Order. So I'm hoping that wait, Alice? Haven't met Alice yet? Okay. This is weird. Like we did met her Alice when we're in the path of the nobleman. I wonder if we'll be able to meet her. Oh well, let's see. Ruthless and brutality. Okay, let's continue reading. The March of the Colors. This is the morning that you all have been preparing for. One of the houses in the downtown Eterna is packed with a crowd of people. Everyone put collars on their neck. They are not enough for everyone, so the rest of them cover their necks with scarves and belts, anything that looks dark against the skin. There are so many faces, even faces you have never seen before. People of all the states have come here today. Give me a second. Okay, I was blowing my nose. You flow out onto the street. People keep joining the crowd, even as you start walking. There are shouts in the crowd now. Our cause is just. These words fill you with confidence. Help you remain composed. Everyone is smiling. You march in the front row. The feeling is indescribable. Change is coming. The square is already covered with stacks of firewood for the fires. You see people in collars tied to wooden stakes, with inquisitors busy around them. The fiery execution is almost ready to begin. Your path is blocked. Imperial Legion soldiers stand guard on all streets leading to the square. The crowd keeps pushing. There are cries from the street now. Mages and witches are children of the gods. Give the witches back their lives. Down with the shackle of the lords. The cries of Lotless fill St. Ignatius Square. A legionnaire yells over the mob and orders you to stand aside before they draw their sword. And then you hear a scream next to you. Now, one thing I would like to say is that they wouldn't mind, using force, because like in this world, it seems like the twins, okay, like they will help out a bit with if you die of like. If you die by an accident, you will be revived. Up to 3 times they will save you. So in other words, like the 4th death is where you're gonna die. So if you take a look here, like we experienced death once. Now this one is because we saved Sophia, okay? When she was about to get trampled. So like with that, I think like we gained some affection with her, and one more we will bring ourselves up to max, most probably like loving. Your heroic act gave Sophia a faint glimmer of hope. We got them outnumbered. We're going through them. Her voice rings in your head and fills you with fury and faith in victory, and you run straight against the legionnaires' sharp sword. But suddenly, a hand catches you and pulls you back. You see Sophia now. Her eyes are burning with golden light. The ecstatic, furious mob flows around her towards the unnerved legionnaires. Sophia's face looks inhuman now, her grim predatory. Yeah. The legionnaire swings his sword at the maddened mob, but he is quickly knocked off his feet. His fellow soldiers guarding the square lock their shields together and draw their swords. There is a look of bewilderment in the Inquisitor's eyes. It seems none of them expect such frenzy. Sophia leads the attack. Set the sufferers free. Junior's diamond is on our side. The twins are our shield. So we are basically like trying to save Junius. Like Junius is like he's very sympathetic to the Lotless, and he believes that the witches are being falsely prosecuted. So I kind of like understand. Like I kind of look up to him. Okay. And we've met him once, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I'm not really that sure because I can't remember that well. Yeah, because it happened last week. But anyhow, let's continue. Any idea of a peaceful march is now thrown into the wind. Sophia is about to send the Lotless against the lines of legionnaires. Only second moments are left until they strike. You have to be there, in the front line. Or will you try to stop her to avoid bloodshed? There is still time. Or will you execute your plan yourself and free captives from the funeral pyres on your own? Ooh. Okay, we can free them on our own. Yeah, we should go for on our own. I do want to hold her back, but then like she will hate us for that. The Lotless trample the legionnaires. The Inquisition try to stop those who make it past the shield-bearing soldiers. Your eyes catch an unguarded opening leading straight to the square. You run away from Sophia and through the crowd, and then squeeze through the opening and head for the pyres. The Inquisitors are too busy binding the fleeing Lotless with the wondrous power of the younger twin. No one is watching the fire. You turn over a barrel, flooding the square behind the Inquisitors with tar and set it on fire. They are not trapped with the bomb. You started acting quickly, cutting the ropes that bind the mages and to the stakes. The old man with a horrifying facial scar screams when you accidentally cut him, but you have no time to be careful. Their freedom comes first. The last mage you free is a girl with golden hair. She must have been a beauty in the past, but now her body is beaten and bruised, and she is frightened and confused, like all the other mages. Then suddenly, you notice a young woman, an Inquisitor Cossack. You are moments away from assaulting her, until you see that she is helping the girl with the golden hair off the pyre. Do you just hear her apologize? The Inquisitor look at you next. Thank you. Wait. Huh? What? Is this the one from like the one at the tree? Is this the one from the tree? Like when we're in the okay. Well, Anazot, that's like the sacred silver tree. Now, when we visit there, like there's an event happen. Like basically there are three forces. Okay, one is a girl, another one is a red priestess, something like that. Okay, a traveler, and a third one is the silver tree itself. Like, if I'm not wrong, maybe this girl is the girl from before. Yeah, she must have been beauty in the past, but suddenly notice a young woman in a cassock. Wait. Oh, she's not the girl. She's the Inquisitor. Okay. Thank you. You push the freed mages towards the mob, yelling instructions to each ear. They have to scatter, they have to run away from Eterna as fast and far as possible. The mages mix with the collared crowd. All they can do now is hope they will find a way out. Reaching Sophia in this chaos takes an eternity. You grab her hand, shout that the mages are free, and drag her away from the bloodshed. And then you run together until the screams in the square can no longer be heard. That's far enough, Brante. We need to split up. We're too suspicious. We'll take off these collars. We don't need them anymore. We need to lay low, at least for several days. Don't go back to our house. I'll get a feeling a shakedown's coming. A lot of us are going to get arrested, I'm afraid. But it's all worth it. I'm just glad it ended so quickly. You nod and turn away, ready to flee. But before you do, Sophia grabs you by the arm one more time. Was that all you? Did you set them free all by yourself? You nod. Sophia's eyes glow with awe. You find a flophouse on a nearby street and rent a dirty, clubby hole of a room. No question asked. You pay for a few days to stay at once. It's a good thing they kept your money on you today. Then you walk upstairs to the room and collapse onto the bed. There is no news about the Lotless. It is as though none of it ever happened. You go to St. Ignatius Square only 3 weeks later. The cobblestones are covered with soot and you see spots of dried blood. In the bushes nearby you find several broken collars. Our cost is just. But does that mean like we should sacrifice the rest? That's one thing. Ooh, dangerous one. The march in defense of witches ended in chaos and carnage in the streets of Eterna. I wonder what will happen if I save. Oh! Oh, so this is where A-list comes in. Okay, so she's A-list, the girl with the golden hair. It surprised me. Two major events take place while you are busy living your life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the Great Chancellor of the Empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. His replacement is Archduke of Monia, Angarius Monroe, the same Monroe who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm, finally convinced that the Emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the lowborn. Now, the policy of the Empire will be reversed. Many fear that the Great Chancellor will destroy the Imperial Code of Laws and other achievement of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors among the people. They say that the new Great Chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. Basically there's two. One is, okay, if you're born a noble, okay, you are gonna be ennobled by the sword. If you're a lowborn and you're gonna go to the lowborn and gonna go for a noble, you're gonna be ennobled by the mantle. But above all is the Archdeacon, where they will always be born into noblehood. And like they basically saying in the old empire they are, how do I say this? They are basically like a superior race. It's what the story said in. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, now has a new overseer, Gaius Tempest, the other brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually the overseer of a province is Archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. Yet now, this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Melanidas was absolutely furious. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former great Cornelius Tempest. The nobles at the emperor's court say this is a stratagem by the Archdeacon gentry who want Gaius removed from court affairs with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Melanidas will be at each other's throats over the province. This does not bode well for their future. One thing is clear. Magra, your home province, is about to face challenges. Now, we are from Magra. Oh yeah, we can't see. Give me a second. We are from Magra, which is this part here. Okay, where They are the last to join the Empire. Okay, they're the last to join the Empire, and in a sense that this place is quite desolate because there's somebody used magic and basically scorched the earth, and like even though it's there's a lot of like mining prospects, but it's like barren most of the time, and you can't get you know produce here. So like most probably like they are relying mostly on like from Monia, because Monia it seems like they are wealthy in terms of produce and stuff. The trap springs. Weeks pass, then months, and not a word from the Lotless. You have to resort to odd jobs to survive. How much longer will you have to wait? Your hopes of seeing the Lotless return wane more and more with each passing day. You still recall the loss and bloodshed of St. Ignatius Square with pain. What happened to the others? How many more managed to get away? And more importantly, what happened to Sophia? More days pass, you hear nothing. You keep glancing to the same familiar city streets, glancing at the walls and windows, waiting anxiously for a sign or a familiar face. Then one day, you finally see a sign. A yellow towel hanging outside the window of Mayor's window. That means tonight. You return to the basement. Only a few people are there. You look into their faces. There are fewer of you now. Some of the Lotless could not bring themselves to come, and others died in the square. Sophia sits at the opposite end of the room, like an actor on a stage, her pipe in her hand. A golden ray of sunset has just reached through the basement window to glint in her hair. People are sitting at the benches or leaning against the wall. You sit where you normally do, in the front row, almost in the middle. There are voices, there are questions. Where did our meeting stop? Where has Sophia been all this time? What do we do now? Sophia stands up and looks straight at you, a golden light glowing in her eyes. I want to ask you all one last favor. Please, for your own sake, don't do anything foolish. The golden light in Sophia's eyes comes alive and flies through the hall, enveloping the others in vicious warmth. Your eyelids grow heavy. Your mind becomes tangled and slow to react. You can barely stand. Your legs feel like they are made out of rubber. The people in the front rows slump to the floor. There are cries of surprise and confusion from the back rows. Huh? Then you hear heavy stomping steps. Armed knights clad in black armor enter the basement. The Lotless at the door draw their weapons and are killed instantly. In the voice full of steel rings through the room, in the name of Emperor Uta II, you are all under arrest. Huh? Your heart is racing, but the rays of sunlight will not release you from this stupor. You can do nothing but watch as your united brotherhood perishes. This feels like a nightmare. Some run for the tiny windows, others get down on their knees and surrender immediately. Others stand or sit still, unsure what to do. Your former unity is shattered. People you used to call friends and allies now kneel in submission, and those who do not kneel are quickly cut down. There are screams and flashes of steel, then a merciless cry. Surrender or face execution. Sophia is no longer glowing. Her eyelids are red. She tries to maintain composure, but you can see her lower lip trembling. Your eyes meet, and she looks away. Sophia, but how? Why? Everything ends as quickly as it began. Most of you are arrested. Many are killed. Everyone bound by Sophia's spell is swiftly bound at the wrist and placed against the wall. You know most of you would rather die fighting, but you would, if you were not bound and gagged by magic. They took your choice away from you. The people are well armed, well trained, and you see no signs of their armor. They are not the Legion, nor the Prefecture, nor the Inquisition. Your worst fear has come true. These soldiers are from the secret chancellery. Your body is bound by magic, so strong you cannot even twitch. You are trapped along with the rest of the Lotless. There is no escape. Your eyes closed, you have to muster all your willpower to drive away, to slumber away. Do you have even willpower to break Sophia's spell even for a moment? And even if you do, will it even help you if you resist? Create the distraction. Man, 20 plus willpower. You clench your teeth so hard they screech and do your best to stand up. It takes so much strength that you scream, but you finally break free of that spell that binds you, and you stand up. Neither Sophia nor the armored mercenaries expected that to happen. You take advantage of the confusion and knock down the secret chancery knight at the door. Then, you run for an oil lamp on the wall and smash it against the door. A wave of fire spreads quickly. Several men in black armor lunge at you. You are bound again, not by magic, but by heavy stomping boots. You hear screams all around you. Halt! Stop them! Your distraction gave some of the Lotless enough time to break the spell and escape through the door and small window. The leader's commanding voice stops the panic. Let them flee. We'll find them later if you're ordered to. Tie up the rest. They tie you up, tightening the knot around your wrist so hard your fingers turn white, and kick you in the gut again for good measure. Sophia leans over you. She whispers so quietly you can barely hear, and yet every word rings loudly in your mind. You did all you could, Brante. Do not resist them now. This is the only way I can save your life. You're dragged outside and thrown into a windowless wagon along with the other Lotless. Soon the wagon shifts, then starts moving. You're being taken somewhere. Dang. She betrayed us. She betrayed us. She betrayed us. The secret society of the Lotless was struck down by the secret chancery. Many of the conspirators were captured. But we still outwit Philippe, you know. Wait, the secret society is not betrayed yet? I thought it is. Days are followed by nights. Nights are followed by new days. You can only tell because of the new light coming in through the tiny window near the ceiling. You have spent several months in this cramped cell. It is 5 steps long, 2 steps wide. These walls felt oppressive during your first weeks, but people can get used to anything eventually. They feed you twice a day. They do not answer any questions. They take away the food if you scream too loudly. You think of your family often. How would they react if they heard you were facing execution for being part of an underground movement? Mother would die from grief. Execution always brings true death. Father's hair would turn white. Gloria would cry. Stephen would rage, and Nathan would become even more isolated. Sophia, how could she do such a thing? She said the Lotless were her family. She insisted so much on freeing the innocent mages. She urged you to support Patriarch Juniors and the New Faith. Sophia said all that. Then, she stood there and watched her fellow Lotless get killed and arrested. Their lives lost, years of work undone and destroyed. Driven mad with rage, you punch the stone wall. Blood splatters from your knuckles. It grows dark again. The lock on the door squeaks and the cell opens. They carry you out by the arms, but you no longer resist. You're sick of this. It's no use anymore. They seat you in the interrogation room. There is a man sitting across you, plain but well-tailored jacket. Pale face with chiseled features, thick black mustache, black eyes watching your every move from their deep pockets. When did the secret chancery first start watching? When did you all become pawns in their game? The nobleman keeps studying you with utter disdain. Even grandfather never looked at you with such scorn. He wears a pendant in the shape of a wheel. His gloved hands rest atop of a table with a walking stick leaning against it. Behind him stands Sophia, her head down. I'm Baron Philippe L. Ferro, advisor to the Secret Chancellery, but I have a dislike for titles. Call me Sir Philippe. They will suffice. Wait, I know everything about you, young Brante. Your father and grandfather are loyal servants of the Empire. Your brother is a noble by birth. Where did your life take such a turn? How did you stoop so low? The advisor to the Secret Chancellery shakes his head, presenting you with a clearly false smile of sympathy. You feel like a student in front of a strict teacher, but you will not leave this room with a mere flogging. You young people don't even realize what you're doing. Openly defying the church and its teaching, openly speaking out against the law. And when Junius Diamond gives you the order, you wreak havoc in the capital. Assault priests and free apostles were just sentenced to execution. Isn't that right, Sophia? Yes, Sir Philippe. It all happened as exactly as you said. Wait. Are you trying to tell me that this man is the one that took Sophia in? She betrayed us from the very beginning? You shiver with disbelief. There was no order from Junius Diamond. That's not true. It never happened. You look at Sophia, but she will not look at you. Her eyes are only on Baron Alfaro, and he looks at you with a fatherly smile and a ruthless gaze. You're trapped. Now, his words will be the truth, and nobody will ever believe anything you say. If only I could be like you, young Brante, a mere boy who thinks he can change the empire all on his own. I thought that we're not on our own. Along with Sophia. But I suppose it's a good thing I'm not that naive. Otherwise, I'll be in your shoes right now. And you'd be dealing with someone far worse than me. There are many things in this world that do not sit well with me either. But unlike your youthful rebellions, my goals are quite clear. My wish is to save the Empire, to save it from the likes of you. People who reject tradition and the laws given to us by gods. That's not it. The prophet Isacius, lied a bit about the Lotless. Fools who seek to set the mages free. Practitioners of the new faith that is destroying the church from within. Even if their leader is a patriarch and an Archnean from an ancient dynasty, few knows my method, and that is why they are effective. Thanks to Sophia and this secret society of hers, we have already betray us from the beginning. We have already managed to gather all the dangerous insurgents together, and summarily deal with them in one fell swoop. The heretic Junius Diamond is next in line, but that is none of your concern. Let us speak of your fate now. Philippe produced a folder full of notes and puts it on the table in front of you. The folder bears your name. Your hands shake as you flip through the pages. How you infiltrated the college during the siege, how you helped recruited more people for the Lotless, the articles you wrote for the newspaper, the advice you gave Sophia, your preparation for the March of the Colors. Your life over the past 3 years is laid down on these pages. Just the records of your presence at the Lotless meeting is enough to sentence you to execution. But this is the least of what you have done over these years. Your stomach churns. Do not expect your father's authority as a judge will save you from this, Brante. He's just a second-generation judge. A brief note from me. You will face true death, and then your family and the rest of your peculiar little family as well. What say you? Is there any reason I shouldn't do just that? Sir Philippe, He strikes Sophia swiftly and painfully. She doubles over and clutches at her stomach, gasping for breath. Slowly, Philippe returns the walking stick to its previous position. His gaze never leaves you. I don't remember giving you permission to speak, but very well. I grant it now. Speak. Sophia finally catches her breath and leans against the wall. She looks at you for the first time since the interrogation began. Sir Philippe, Brante grew up in Enzot like me. He's very bright and has proven himself to be quite capable since his very first days with the Lotless. You will find my description of him in my report. He will serve your cause in Magra as well. You do not look at Sophia. Her betrayal is the reason you are ended up here. But now, she is putting herself at risk to save your life. Philippe stares you down, his chin resting on his fist. Prove himself, you say? Then how about he prove himself to me as well? There are only two ways out of this room, Brante. One leads to the gallows, the other makes you my loyal servant. Thank your childhood friend for this mercy. I'll give you one chance and only one, to prove to me that you are useful to the secret chancellery. I'm listening. Oh, damn! So this is it. So, you rescued the Lotless. The secret society continues activity in the capital. Outwit Philippe. I'm gonna outwit you. You pull yourself together and start thinking. You have to earn your freedom, and for that, you must prove that you can be useful to the city hall. But you cannot betray the Lotless who are still free. And so, you started talking. You described everything you have learned over the past 3 years, including your work with the Lotless, your recruitment and the propaganda effort, the public activities you have hosted. Philippe listens carefully to every word you say. You use your cunning to convince him that the Lotless pose no threat and have no leadership with Sophia and you out of the picture. If you are to be believed, the Lotless were already on the verge of disbanding. Sophia is silent and emotionless as you speak. Nothing in her reacts to your lies. Well then, you're quite self-assured, Brante. So you're trying to tell me your entire secret society was held together entirely through your efforts? Granted, you talk far better than those half-illiterate street rats. One way or another, the Lotless have outlived their usefulness. I have no use for the rest of these pathetic ragamuffins. Color me impressed, but if you disappoint me, so much the worse for you. Now mark my words, from this moment on, you are my secret servant. This is your only lot in life now, as it were. You will obey me and no one else, and do not even think of mentioning the secret chancery to anyone. Oh, revenge is gonna be so sweet. You and Sophia will return to Anazot. Tell everyone you earn a small fortune in the capital, or made wealthy friends. You're a simple young man. Just think of something believable, will you? Once you're there, open a print shop. Don't waste too much time on it. This job will be your cover to keep you looking busy in public. My people will pay you visits from time to time and bring you instruction from me. I have big plans for your desert province. My every instruction must be carried out immediately. If you ever fail or try to fool me, your family will suffer along with you. Here, this should be enough for the print shop. Now you have something to bring back home. With a chuckle, Philippe drops a healthy pouch at your feet. It falls like a rock and makes a sound that only gold can make. Before you say anything, he turns around and leaves. Once you are left with Sophia, he finally lets her emotion rise to the surface. Don't you dare call me a traitor. Do you think it was easy for me to watch my friends being killed? Nobody would have left the room alive if it wasn't for me. Yes, I bound everyone I could with my spell, because otherwise you would have died trying to fight back. I hope I got everyone out there alive, but I only got you out. It's a good thing that you said what you said. Now Philippe will pay no attention to the Lotless. The survivors will continue our work eventually, without us. And as for you and me, Philippe has us on a leash now. We'll have to survive like this. We can't run from him. If I don't do what I'm told, they'll have me collared and sent back to the House of Humility to be an obedient, soulless puppet. If that's the point, if that's the case, don't try to act like the leader. But we have each other now. We can do this. Don't lose hope. Seriously, you killed the hope! Oh my god. A jailer enters the room before you can say anything else. You are led out of the prison into the yard. You wince at the light of the sun and shining pillar. A carriage takes you back to the flop house where you took refuge after the March of the Colours. The driver kindly informs you he has orders to take you back to Anazot in 3 days. You start packing. It all feels like a dream. Everything will happen exactly as Philippe say. You have nowhere to run. If you try to flee, they will find you. They will find your family first. In the blessed Arcanian Empire, there is no way to start over with a clean slate. The twins and the secret chancery see all. Your months in prison are in the past, but can you truly call yourself free now? You're going home soon. You rescue the Lotless, and the secret society continues its activities in the capital. You now serve the secret chancery. Your life and fate are in the hands of advisor Philippe El Ferro. Oh, I'm definitely gonna make him pay. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the streets. Junius Diamond, patriarch of Astinia, and one of the leaders of the new faith will stand trial before the church tribunal. The orders of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy. The Holy Tribunal claims that Junius Diamond was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that feathered their accursed powers. And what's worse, Patriarch was accused of forming the Lotless, a dangerous secret society based in the imperial capital. Members of this society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape holy law. Now, the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this devastating blow to the new faith and the end days for Junius Diamond himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dare to shake the foundation of the old faith. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius' reply to the Holy Tribunal. It is no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies. I will say this to anyone who dares to bring the accusation against me in person, but I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of their responsibility for this slander against me, my flock, the Diamond Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I'll face them on my own land, on my terms. Basically rigging the court. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Archnia. Parishes from the new faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Diamond. The Church of the Twin God is about to rend in twain. The Inquisition have no choice but to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. The new official stance is that Patriarch Junius has been wrongfully accused, and the Holy Tribunal will apply even more cautious judgment during any further trials against the followers of the new faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Fotis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition. Now, I think if we betrayed, like here is gonna end, Patriarch Junius, like either he will die or he will be taken out of power. In a sense, like he won't be much of a help for us later on. The trial of Junius Diamond has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The new faith has directly challenged the old faith. The result is uncertain depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Diamond all but pled guilty. Others believe that Patriarch is alleged and the alleged rebellion against the church, as well as the Inquisition, is nothing more but a ruse. There are also people who think that the entire situation sounds like one of the secret chancellery's dirty deeds. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astinia and the co-leader of the new faith remains at his post. But for how long? And how will the old faith and the new faith clash next? Schism. We gotta tip it to the right, which is the new faith. Give me a second. Where's Astinia? Here. Province with bountiful harvest. This land is the main stronghold of the new order, where commoners and the nobles alike follow the new doctrine. This land is ruled by the old Diamond Dynasty, but only Patriarch Junius Diamond, the Archduke's elder brother, and leader of the church in the province, wields actual authority in Astinia. The Reglata and Talrena rivers meet outside the city walls. You have barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived here as a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectation and desire to live your life as you saw fit. Where did your beautiful ambition lead you in the end? Eterna never became your home. To you, it was a place of turmoil and disappointment. You tried to change the course of history, but history broke you in half and threw you away. You were too young and inexperienced. Your entire life was wrecked by a single decision. Well, the decision to trust Sophia. All of your hopes are buried here in Eterna, and you must leave this city behind. I think if we become a noble, then maybe we can stay here. Maybe. Your hands clench into your fists as you think about it. You have to live two lives, a public life as the owner of a print shop, and a secret life as a spy of the secret chancery. This is the only path fate has in store for you now. Mother used to say that humility and hard work are the strength of the common folk. Each new blow brings less pain and teaches you to get back up more quickly. All you have to do is walk this path without showing weakness. But you stray from the path of humility and graduate from the school of hard knocks. You learn to lie and manipulate others, to survive and hide and act in secret. As a teacher, Sophia had no equal. But what are you supposed to do now? Will you accept your role in the schemes of the secret chancery, since it means well for the empire? Or will you have what it takes to fight another way and use your new position for schemes of your own? Many things have changed back home by now. You recall Gloria, particularly fondly the way she used to rebel all the time and defy her lot to write poems. She always fought hard to be herself, no matter what other people or the law said. Gloria was the only one who supported your decision to find your own path. You want to see her so badly, and tell her all the news, and share the joy of your return with her. You have to get her a gift from the capital, something that will matter to your sister, while there's still time. You decided to buy her a book she could never find in Anizot. You started combing through the market. You go to 5 bookstores, but you see nothing suitable. One last shop, and then it's time to leave. You promise yourself. The store is marked by an unremarkable sign or an unremarkable building. You enter the dark room full of bookshelves. On one of these shelves, you see a small book with a book bound with black leather. The name of the author, Shah Melanidas, is stamped in gold. You peek inside. How strange! This is not a biography of the rebellious Duke and his rebellion. It is not even a study of his legacy. It is a book of his poems. You thumb through the pages and realize that Gloria would enjoy this book very much. The poetry of Shah Melanidas is about love and struggle, strength of will, and the drive to keep fighting even when all hope is lost. The book costs almost nothing. It leaves the bookstop with you. Ooh. You leave the capital the morning after. The carriage is hired by the secret chancery awaits you at the door. Eterna, the city where you spent 4 years, slowly disappears in the horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The book, a gift for Gloria, is in your hand. Now, what happened to Sophia? Is she coming with us? After 4 years in the capital, you return to your home city of Anizot. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return home to your family and new business in your hometown. The years away from home were full of turmoil and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decision. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself? Or was destiny all along ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. Continue. Homecoming. Continue. Peacetime. I wonder how old we're gonna be at the end of the peacetime. And I hope
full adult now. I returned from the capital a changed man. Yet, my hometown was not the same as I had left it. Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
Peacetime. Okay, time to play the manipulator. Are they gonna get new stats? The carriage makes its way along the road. You see the land of Magra through the window, empty and unscathed by ancient magic. Your home Anizot is but few hours along this road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun, even with the thick blinds pulled tight. It's a familiar heat, but you will now need to get used to it again. The heat weighs heavily on you. but it also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family soon. How will they react to you? Will they accept you after you betrayed their hopes and their trust? You are back in your native province. You'll be home soon, but you're no longer the boy who took this very road to the capital 4 years ago. But who are you now? A clandestine outlaw? A rebel? Or a secret agent of the secret chancellery? What future awaits you now? Can you get your freedom back? Can you save everything you hold dear? To drive away the worries about your new life and new destiny, you reread Sophia's letter yet again. Huh? She changed? Like, the portrait changed. I'm glad you didn't do anything stupid and choose to seize your chance of freedom, Brante. I'll go to Anizot a week after you. Both of us coming back at the same time might attract unwanted attention. It'll be best if nobody even knows we have anything to do with each other. You'll find an excuse for our frequent meetings later. You should go home and reconnect with your family. Don't draw any attention. Keep your head down. Don't leave that old house of yours. When the time comes, I will find you. Tell everyone you're planning to open a print shop. Find a building to rent for it. Someplace far from prying eyes. There'll be an underground headquarters. I'll tell you about our mission when we meet. That's all. You put the letter in your pocket. The walls of Anizot have finally emerged on the horizon. Before you do anything else, you're going home. Ooh, glory to the Empire. You stop the Anizot revolt, dead in its track, and become Philippe's closest confidant. No way. The Free City? Together with Mayor Agmon, the last straw incites a rebellion among the common folk to fight for their rights. What? Yes. You help the magistrate regain the control of Anizot in exchange for protection against the secret chancellery? Huh? Last Straw Riot. The Last Straw breaks free of its chains and incites a full-blown uprising against the Empire. Unrest. That... Like, okay. Can we do this too? The Free City and the Last Straw Riot? Farewell, advisor. When these plans come to fruition, you finally earn your... The Brante family now has enough influence to protect you from Sir Philippe's wrath, favored by the Overseer. True death. Okay, what I want is definitely the Free City and the Last Straw Riot. Okay, these two, hopefully. Oh my god! The Brante family becomes a hereditary dynasty of nobles by the sword. Its status passed down from generation to generation. Not... I don't think we can do this. Favored by the Overseer. The Brante family become a hereditary dynasty of the sword, earning the favor of Overseer Gaius Tempus and a place at the court. A glorious bloodline, a family of means. Heir of the family. You succeeded your elder brother Stephen as the heir of Brante family. Maybe. But we need to be ennobled by the sword, so I don't think so. This is just too hard. The family falls apart. Family is no longer... Okay, give me a sec. Family. Unity 8. That can happen to the Brante family distracted, a family of means. Wealth 10. Mother recovers. Finds the strength to recover from a grave illness. Yeah, I think we can. Gloria Brante. Robert adopts Gloria and she becomes a full-fledged Brante. Okay, Gloria Brante. Branded by dishonor, the Brante name is dragged through the dirt and never to recover. Oh boy, the family at peace. Give me a second. Oh shit! Oh shit! There's one more life! There's one more life! The family at peace. Unite the family. The family in ruins. Financial well-being of the Brante family is decimated. What about our wealth? 5. Okay. Glorious bloodline. Brante family earns great renown, becoming the newest eminent dynasty in Anazot. Profitable business. Okay. Stockpile of arms. Oh, scheming 15. Loyal to you alone. Sophia gain access to your secret stash of your gunpowder. Huh? What would she do with it? What would she do with it? What would she do with it? Occupation screen is not available. Represent how rebellious the commoners are. The commoners of the province are and how ready they are to fight for their rights. It determines the influence of the last straw in Anazot and the power of the impending rebellion. Oh. Okay. Okay, give me a second. Let's check again. Now, I wanna see the free city. Unrest at 8. Buy less than 6. Good. We're gonna make the unrest at max. By the way, do we have new stats? Oof! We're still using it. We're still using the old one. Because they say like if you're at max like 20, then you're gonna be harsher. You're gonna be able to perform a miracle. Peace time. The carriage stops. The familiar gate. Your bedroom window. The same one you used to climb out at night from time to time. The well-tended garden with its imported soil, the delightful greenery, and mother's beloved violet rises. The porch you used to jump off when you were little. Your home. You touch the handle of the front door and halt for a moment. It has been 4 years since you left Eterna, but it felt like yesterday. The air inside is cool, as usual. Father cannot stand a stuffy room and insists on constantly airing out the house. Inside the house, the first thing you hear is the sound of someone running out of the library. Your sister Gloria appears and immediately throws her arms around you. Her joy is so strong, you barely manage to stay on your feet. Gloria is dressed in men's clothing, including culottes, a frock coat, and a necktie with a massive pin. She's almost unrecognizable in her new attire. There are dark circles under her eyes, as though from lack of sleep or frequent tears. She looks more childish compared to before. Before that, I want to check. Sophia. Sophia looks terrible compared to before. Alice. She came to the capital along with John, who used to be an acolyte at the tree. Brother, I've been waiting for you for so long. I'm proud to see you've chosen your own path and decided to live the way you want. You're actually going to open your own print shop? You're going to print books? Even poetry? Speaking of poetry, from the inner pocket of your jacket, you produce a small book bound in soft black leather. Gloria gingerly accepts your gift. She notices the odd name, Shah Milandas, on the cover and knits her brow. After quickly flipping through her pages, she showers you with gratitude. I thought Milandas was just a warlock. I had no idea he wrote poetry. How fascinating. I'm going to read it all from cover to cover. Her mother comes out of the sitting room, leaning on Nathan's arm. You immediately see the sign of illness mentioned in the letters from home. Her back is bent, her hair is grey. A thin web of wrinkles covers her face, and her complexion has lost its colors. She slowly embraces you. Her arms feel nearly weightless. You press your face into her shoulder, reading in the nearly forgotten, dearly beloved smile. Mother holds you by the shoulders and studies you for a long time. You've been away so long, son. It's such a shame your journey was in vain. You didn't become a judge or a priest. I guess it's your fate to bear your lot until the very end. But you'll endure it. That's how I raised you. Nathan approaches you after... Oh my god, what the hell happened? Your younger brother is the same height as you now. His hair almost reaches his shoulders. But he still has the same lost look in his eye when he was a young boy. It's good to see you, brother. Home just hasn't been the same without you. Who cares about your estate, right? I'm just glad you're here with us again. You pat Nathan on the back. Loud footsteps echo down the stairs. Stephen appears. His shoulders have grown broader, and his features have become harsher. Just like grandfather, he stares you and Nathan down in contempt, his arm crossed on his chest. Welcome back, commoner. I hope you become my equal, but apparently, you just didn't have it in you. I guess you're no better than Nathan. I can only hope you know your pace from now on. Why did father even send you to the capital in the first place? As Stephen said these words, you see father appear from his study. He looks older now. His back is hunched and he squints. There are deep lines around his mouth and silver threads in his dark hair and mustache. He stops a few steps away and examines you from head to toe. He does not say a word, shaking his head slowly. You explain yourself to father. This was the only path you could have taken. The college and judge's calling were not for you. However, your time in the capital was not spent in vain. You made many influential friends there. And now, you plan to open a print shop in Anathoth and make a good living. You do your best to make this sound convincing. No one can ever see through your cover story. When I sent my son to the capital, I expected him to turn a nobleman. But the man who stands before me is a commoner, a merchant, an artisan. I had such high hopes for you, but our family future rests in Stephen's hands right now. Oh well, I had enough time to make my peace with this. You are still a member of this family. We'll see how your shop fares. Perhaps you could still find a way to contribute to the Brante household. He lets out a brittle chuckle, then after a pause, father spread his arm wide to embrace you. You're finally home, my son. Well then, time for dinner. Your mother has prepared a veritable feast in your honor. For the first time in years, your entire family shares a meal at the same table. Let's check the family. Oh. I didn't know this. Noblewoman of the sword and assistant to Augustine Elborn. The match between her and your father was your grandfather's doing. Amelia is said to be a striking woman with a forceful personality who was proud of her noble origins. Gloria. Okay, we chat with Nathan. At the table, you ask Nathan how he's doing. Your inquiries make your little brother uncomfortable. I worked as hard as I could, studied theology, read books, but during my examination at the seminary, I started talking about something else entirely. I don't know what came over me. The priest asked me, what is the manifestation of the twins' love for people? I went and said, forgiveness. What are you talking about, my son? The twins could never forgive anyone for sin. Otherwise, how could we fulfill their design? Everyone would just do whatever they wanted, since the twins would forgive them anyway. Like, now I'm like, okay. If you go with Stephen, you're gonna be the noble. If you go with Gloria, you're going to be like what we are now, basically like the conspirator. And if you go with Nathan, you're probably gonna be the clergy. And I'm interested in that. I really want to see what it will lead. Sorrow fills Nathan's eyes. The priest was furious too. Out of the seminary, you ignoramus, he shouted, so I left. And now I don't know what to do with myself. Then be silent. If you must hear about the trials and trials of commoners, I'd rather learn how the destiny abandoned scum in the lowly estate. You have to relate your 4 years you spent in Eterna, carefully omitting anything that might reveal a secret mission. You resume your conversation with Nathan later that night. You sit together in the back porch, away from the rest of the family. I'm glad someone cares about me, brother. You've always been there for me. It must be painful for you to see me grow out to be so useless. Things are bad for me. I try to at least look after mother. You can ask her questions, but her answers often don't make sense. And she keeps falling silent in the middle of conversation like she did today. Her illness is consuming her. You know, if mother passes, she may not be reborn. I dread to think what will happen to father then. And to Gloria. VR has had hard lately. Stephen has treated her like dirt for the last year. I think he plans to drive her out of the house so her origins won't take the Brante reputation anymore. Stephen only cares one thing now, getting our family ennobled by the sword. So for him, Gloria is just an obstacle for him and his goal. You spend quite some time in silence, gazing in the radiant stripe of the shining pillar as it grows more and more luminous against the darkening sky. The Brante family is about to face some challenging times. First steps. After several days of searching and inquiring, you find a suitable location for the Prince shop. You choose a 2-story building on dead-end street away from pedestrian thoroughfares, right next to the city outer walls, so spacious and sturdy. It has more than enough space for the printing press and workbenches. The basement is dry and the windows are too tiny to peek through. It is a perfect location for a clandestine headquarters. You inspect the rooms. This corner will be good for the typesetting area, and the shelf of ink. Oh god, give me a second. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Oh boy. Wait. Report. Site user. And this one as well. Okay. Okay, I removed it. You inspect the rooms, this corner, okay? You inspect the rooms, the corner will be good for a typesetting area, and the shelves of ink can go over there. Before you finish, Sophia knocks at the door. Once inside, she casts a glance over the rooms and walls and chuckles with approval. This is just what we need, Brante. A perfect location. I couldn't have found anything better myself. Guess the capital taught you well. I'm glad to see I was right about you. This job will be easier with your help. Sophia brushes a layer of dust from an old wooden crate, then lights her pipe as she sits. I like her beginning one, and the last one also is it's good. So how about I tell you what you and I are up to in this town, eh? Remember what we did in the capital? Well, we're gonna do the same trick here in Enzot. That's our mission. Philippe wants us to form an underground society here. Anyone who wants to rebel and riot, we'll let them join. We'll also keep them in check and use them to do whatever the secret chancery says. I still don't know everything Philippe's planning yet, but I can tell you he was real angry about how the Inquisition cast all the dirt up we dug on patriarch Eunice to the four winds. Here in Enzot, Philippe wants real deal. You frown. The real deal? What is that supposed to mean? It means you and I have to find all the troublemakers in town and take charge of them. Anybody who's willing to fight for their rights, we turn them into organized force under our command. And then we'll use them to do whatever Philippe wants. Philippe wants to take the city in his own hands. He needs disorder, little disturbances and riots, enough unrest so there's always an excuse to arrest folks whenever they need to. But Philippe always has to be in control. This is a secret chancellery way. As long as the streets are restless, everybody will, especially the overseer, will keep thinking good old Sir Philippe Alfaro is a real useful friend to have. Savior of the Empire and all that. Their last bulwark against the rabble-rousers. The more riots and unrest we incite, the stronger the underground society will become, and the stronger the secret chancery will get. Once there are people are shouting in the squares, the prefectures and magistrate will be powerless, and our buddy Philippe will pick up the slack. You following so far? You're not. So you're supposed to incite unrest? Is that all you have to do? That's just the beginning. Philippe also wants a lesser quorum broken up at some point in the future. It's full of folks who don't like the way things are done in the Empire. But the Empire is lucky for now. The lesser quorum spends too much time bickering and not enough time trying to work together. They'll work in our favor. So by the time Philippe wants to blackmail the lesser quorum, we need to have our own underground network. And it has got to be big for his needs. We'll frame quorum members, gather acquisitions, send agents, and stuff like that. In other words, we'll do the secret chancellery's dirty work for them. Now let's get down to business. Here in Enzot, there are some big shots who are opposing the Imperial Order. We need to do our best to exploit them for our cause. If we're lucky enough, maybe we can even get them on our side. Sophia starts counting on her fingers. Number 1 on my list is Augustin Elborn, Prefect of Magra. He's almost relative to you, isn't he? When Gaius Tempus was first appointed to Magra, he was the only member of the Provincial Council who openly supported him. Elborn is one of the most powerful nobles in Magra, but has always protected the common folk. He could be our main ally or a real dangerous enemy. The second fellow worth mentioning is Mayor Agmon, leader of the wealthy commoners in the Lesser Quorum. He's an old merchant who got rich mining silver and managed to weasel his way to the provincial politics as a commoner. We need to ensure Agmon's support as soon as possible. He's rich, powerful, and will be useful to our cause. Last on my list is Father Leonard. He's the abbot in the Temple of the Silver Tree and the local spiritual leader of the New Believers. Right now, lots of Magran commoners are rejecting Isatia's teaching of the Lots, and it's all thanks to Leonard and his influence. If those votes have managed to cast off one burden, it should be easy to talk them into rejecting another one. Sophia taps her pipe against the crate, knocking the remaining tobacco onto the floor. One more thing, Brante. We're gonna be manipulating people. I'm talking about lies, half-truths, using exploiting folks, you name it. And we need to get them to follow us. That's a thing to do. People can smell phonies a mile away, so we have to believe everything we say. I mean, really believe it, from the bottom of our hearts. If you aren't ready to die for your cause, why expect it from other folks? You really want to say that, Sophia? You say that you want to save the Lotless. But what happened to you? All you did was betray them. But you also have to remember who we are doing all this for. He trails off. You wait a moment, then ask Sophia why she has agreed to do this. Why is she working for Philippe? Can she run from him or use her magic to subdue him? Sophia's deep eyes focus all their attention on you. The merciless migrant sun fills the room through the narrow windows, reflected in her eyes as a multitude of yellow sparkles. You think I never tried, Brante? Don't be naive. Magic will not help me to bring Philippe down. When I use my power, you notice it quickly, and Philippe notices it even faster. If I try to enchant him ever again, I'll be collared and sent back to the House of Humility. I'm never going back there again. Not ever. As for escaping, there's no hiding from the secret chancellery. Sooner or later, they will find me. The Empire is absolute. The Empire is eternal. The Empire is everywhere. We are all in the cage. There's no way out of it. So it will be as long as the Empire still stands. So forget about running away. If you want to get out of this alive, just do what I tell you. Trust me, I'll take care of you. Now, let's talk about your next step. We need to show up our cover story. Make sure it doesn't fall apart the first time gendarmes take a look at it. Get this print shop to work, you need employees. You're good at picking the right people, just as good as me. So you do the hiring. Choose people who are loyal, people who do the job and keep their mouth shut. Nathan, when Philippe gets here, you'll have to show him what you've accomplished so far. And you don't want to disappoint him. So you better get cracking. We got a lot of work to do. With that, Sophia nods to you and leaves. You are left alone to pace the rooms and of your future print shop and think. What will you do first? Give me a second. Conspirator. Criminal undertakings. Hire rebels? Spies, moles, and crooks. Give me a second. Let me check something. Last straw riot. We gotta make the unrest high. Unrest. I don't want this. I want the spy network to fail. Okay, let's hire rebels. If there is one thing at the capital and the Lotless have taught you, it's how to find the right sort of people. People who are sick of the Empire and its unjust laws. People who can no longer tolerate the tyranny of the nobles. People who want to break free from the cruel shackles of their lot. There are even more commoners willing to fight the good fight in Magra than in the capital. Thanks to the growing popularity of the new faith, the new overseer who has replaced Archduke Melanidas, the prefect Elborn Protection, the lowly estate in freer in Azot than any other city in the Empire. You hire people who are sincerely displeased with the current state of affairs. People who are willing to risk everything they have for a chance to change the Empire. People who look and act just like you did a few years ago. Their loyalty to you will be absolute as long as they believe in you. They will do whatever you say as long as they are convinced you will bring new and better world. Good. I think if I hire the mole, it's gonna increase the spy network, and I'm not interested in that. Study your service at the Secret Chancellery by opening a print shop as a cover. You came back from home from a short stroll through the city. A researcher at the Brante residence. As soon as you step foot in the house, you are greeted by Stefan, who invites you to have a talk in Father's office. When you enter the room, Father has a heap of letters in front of him and is signing them one after another. Son, Stephen and I must discuss an important matter with you. while you were in the capital, our family formally petitioned to, the overseer to grant us the nobility of the sword. You have 3 generations of noble blood already. You have the right to make our nobility hereditary. Your grandfather took the first steps towards the nobility of the sword as soon as Sever was born, and now we are on the brink of becoming Brantes. If Overseer Gaius Tempus and the nobles of the province deem us worthy, you will receive a hereditary title. All nobles of the Brante family will remain noble forever, as will their descendants. Father and I do our utmost to maintain the family's position, but our goal can be reached only if our reputation remains unblemished in the eyes of high society. The nobility is watching our every step. Father lays a hand on your shoulder. This is your cause too. The future of our family depends on it. We need an estimable reputation and wealth. Everyone bearing the name Brante affects it. Remember that with every action you take, Scammel. You will have to appear before Adazot High Society. You're going to host a reception for the nobility at our home soon. You must uphold the honor of our family brother. You relate the news from Eterna to our guests and present yourself in favorable light. With Sever at the helm, the entire family spends a full week preparing for the majestic reception. The house is flooded with decoration and new tableware, delicacies and cooking in the kitchen, round the clock, and the napkins now bear an embroidered oak branch in chains, the Brante family crest. Gloria is the only one to neglect the common cause. So this? So this is our family crest. Embroidered oak branch and chains, the Brante family crest. Were it up to me, I wouldn't be seen at this hypocritical gathering. But I don't want to let Sir Robert down. He's the reason I plan to stay for the event. The evening of the reception has come. Dignified and conversations are clinking of the glasses fill the house. Among your guests are many high-born powerful people. Your father and Stephen dance from guest to guest, making sure no one is overlooked. Augustine Elborn. Jan Scammel, how splendid to see you. So what was your time in the capital like? You exchanged pleasantry with high-placed relatives. Meanwhile, Gloria and Mother spent the evening on a settee by the wall without drawing any attention. Neither father nor your elder brother introduced them to the noble guests. Still, one of the guests, a young nobleman of the sword named Jose L. Pelletier, keeps staring at Gloria in fascination. Your sister averted her eyes, bemused. Okay, Lady Gloria, you are truly a true gem of the evening. You look so marvelously daring. I haven't seen your like even in the capital. When you walk past Gloria, you hear her hurried whisper, Scammel, please talk to me. This Sir Pelletier keeps following me. I feel uneasy. What does he want from me? I'm just a lowly commoner. Come with me to the other side of the room, although I probably still stand out among those refined nobles. Look, it's Durante the painter. I wonder what brought him so far from the capital. It would be fabulous if he could paint our family portrait. We could all be on canvas together. We're all one big family, happy family after all. Wineglass in hand, you cast a look across the crowded room. It's time to choose how you'll spend the evening. Share the news. Purchase a family portrait. Yeah, purchase a family portrait. The artist is scrutinizing the portrait of your grandfather on the wall of the sitting room. You will always remember grandfather like this. His heavy searching look, his hawkish figure, his imposing body, and the cane he kept in his hands at all times. As if by pure chance you passed by Durante and mentioned that the portrait was painted by a local artist. But surely, Sir Durante's skill must be incomparably greater. Would he be interested in painting a group portrait of the entire Brante family? At first, Durante politely declines. He must head back to the capital soon, and he has no time to spare for painting. But you demonstrate that you will pay any price, and his work will be seen by the high society of Anazot. Brante eventually succumbs to your persuasion. You spend the night negotiating with the painter. A proper portrait will take a fair amount of time to paint, and Brante prices are high. Convincing your family turns out to be just as challenging. Gloria will not pose in a dress or put her hair in a bun. Nathan almost has to be forced to cut his hair. Steven insists that he must be drawn to the right of his father, with Gloria behind them. Eventually, you succeed in helping your family reach a consensus. The portrait is perfect. Your parents look dignified hand in hand. Steven stands up proudly to the right. You, in your best attire, are to the left of them. Gloria brings some life to the painting with her unruly hair and daring outfit. Even Nathan seems to belong there. The portrait is proudly displayed above the fireplace in the sitting room. No one else in Magra has a portrait by Brante himself. This will emphasize our position. For once, Gloria agrees to her elder brother. At least on this canvas we are all one family, whatever our estates may be. Well, there goes a bit of our wealth. Nice! Manipulation and eloquence. A rock and a hard place. The Brante home has been uneasy for several months now. With father traveling all over the province for his judicial duties, the animosity between Steven and Gloria has grown into a full-blown feud. Your elder brother tries to use his position as heir to keep his sister in check and make her behave in accordance with her estate. Gloria repudiates his authority. Their fight rocks the house on a daily basis. Eventually, after returning from his latest trip, father gathers Steven, Gloria, Nathan, and you in the office. His somber look portends a difficult conversation. Steven gazes at father defiantly. Gloria is poised to lash out and run away, and Nathan keeps to the side. Children, for a long time now, our family has been striving to become nobles of the sword. Every noble member of the Brante family will gain a hereditary title. This is your grandfather's dying wish. Gloria sighs loudly. Then why am I here, Sir Robert? He's right, this is a Brante matter. Wait until I finish, Steven. I'm still head of the household. If you are truly so concerned about honor, show your father some respect. It can be helped. Not all of us are noble, but now we must be united as never before. We must work together to protect the family reputation and the wealth of this family. But you, Steven, perpetually humiliate Gloria. Father, all I'm trying to put her in her place. You know perfectly well that the consequences of any attention Gloria might attract. Every step is being observed. The nobles will make pariahs of our family for all eternity if they remember Gloria's filthy origins, and your reckless marriage to Lydia. Father turns red in the face, but with considerable effort, he remains composed. That is so. Our grandfather did everything in his power to remedy your mistakes. Please, father, don't repeat them. Gloria speaks up. I'm just trying to live, Sir Robert, but Steven wants to lock me in a cage so nobody will ever lay eyes on me. That's not it at all. You are lowborn, but you don't live by your lot. You do whatever takes your fancy. You're constantly grumbling about your order of things. Do you know, father, that she defies all prohibition by continuing to write poetry? As far as I'm concerned, anyone who contradicts you is an insurgent. When will you grasp the idea you may not argue for a nobleman? I am the heir of this family, and my word is your law. Purple with rage, father slammed his fist on the table. It is rare to see him so furious. Both your elder and sister instantly fall silent. Frightened, Nathan shrinks into a corner. Hold your tongue, both of you. Let Scum speak. He has witnessed your quarrel. You should know best which one of you is right. Steven should give Gloria some respect. Appeal to Nathan. Okay, defend Gloria. You turn to Steven and abruptly point your finger at him. It is no wonder Gloria fights back so fiercely. Steven torments and chastises her incessantly. If your older brother stops smothering every impulse Gloria has, she will resist so viciously. You're a family after all, not a pack of wild animals, where the strong dominate the weak. Are you blaming me for her escapades, Scummo? Me, who selflessly labor to preserve our family name? This is outrageous, Father. Father, will you really heed to his advice? Do you want me to bring back what you did? Huh? What about your escapades, Steven? Purple with rage, Steven clenches his fist. Father rises from his seat, eyeing his eldest son gloomingly. Scum was right. Steven, you have overstepped your bounds. I took Gloria into my house, so you, my son, must respect her and be considerate of her. Your origins do not give you the right to put such pressure on your sister. Steven rushes out of the office and slams the door behind him. Mira cannot conceal her joy upon hearing you and Father chastise Steven. The little tyrant. They'll teach him that what goes wrong comes wrong. I hope he leaves me from now on. Soon, rumors start circulating in Azot high society suggesting that you are orchestrating a plot against Steven, the legitimate heir of the family. It is not hard to guess who started the rumor. Now, the entire city knows that there is a trouble in the Brante household. Baby. You see an idiot. Like, if he didn't buy the portrait, like, he's gonna, like, bring the house to shame. What an idiot! Seriously. Don't you think so? Oh my god. The past few weeks in Anazot resemble your first year in the capital, when you and Sophia were recruiting people to join the Lotless. You were full of hope and ambition back then. Slowly, you both began to make useful friends and acquaintances in the city. Gendarmes, city peddlers, merchants, laborers, vagrants, and each of them requires a unique approach. The techniques you use in Terna work here as well. You look for people you need, plan secret meetings, and make sure everything is secure. Sophia delivers one ardent speech after another, berating the imperial capital. But so far, only a few people have stayed with you after these meetings. You have to hunt for each new member all over the city. Commoners are too afraid. Only the most desperate or insane are ready to join you. There are two members in particular who stand out. One is Father Ford, a creaky old priest with fire in his eyes. He introduced himself as the commoner who chosen the preacher's path. Does that mean he is a new believer? Ford scoffed at the question. I'll put it this way. The only words that are truth are those the twins tell you themselves. And I've heard their voice plenty. The priests who just cook up some nonsense can call it divine law. They're either crooks or fools. All of them. And Isacian is the biggest crook and fool of them all. Had he lived in any other city in the Empire, he would have already been burned at the stake for those words. But here in Anzot, Ford freely preaches in various taverns and squares. Moreover, the old man is well educated, so you hire him as a typesetter and even let him sleep in the storeroom. When the time comes to assemble a mob to spread some rumors, he will surely come in handy. The other is Alida Thirin, who works at the print shop as a bookbinder. A quiet and innocuous young woman, she nevertheless believes in your worth and your struggle with all her heart, and her innocent appearance hides an ardent will. Why would she choose to fight against the Empire? When Alidia explains, you do not expect to hear cold steel in her voice. My sister was hanged in Eterna after the trial of the 50. I know I might sound like a weepy little girl, but I'm not looking for pity. I just want her murderers to be hanged. That's it. Sophia's speeches are always brimming with passion and sincerity. She speaks out against the injustice of the Empire and calls for people to fight for such intensity that sometimes you find yourself getting swept up by her words, nodding along with the rest. When she speaks, Philippe plans and the secret chancery disappear, replaced by a vision of new world where the injustice and freedom reign. But this illusion passes every time, and when it does, the truth of your conspiracy always feels more crushing than ever. You give all your employees a day off today. Sir Philippe Alfaro is coming to Anizot. Your print shop is the first place he will visit. Sophia stuffs tobacco in her pipe over and over again, trying to look calm behind the smoke. You hear the sound of hooves and wheels on cobblestones. A carriage comes to a halt outside. A man walks past the windows, and knocks at the heavy front door with the handle of his cane. You open hurriedly. Philippe is not alone. He is accompanied by a man with sinewy arms and the face of a predator. Once inside, the secret chancery advisor slowly takes off his cloak, then inspects the premises with care. Sophia was right. Excellent choice. Well done, Brante. I had my doubts about you, but those doubts are gradually being eased. You are indeed a man of many talents. Speaking of which, allow me to introduce you to Oliver Moss, an old friend of mine. I brought him all the way from Eternal to help you out. His skills are even more unusual than yours, Brante. It's amazing how much a person can learn to do when he is well paid. Oliver grins at Philippe's words. The toothy smile cuts through his face like a gruesome scar. You flatter me, Sir Philippe, but you're right. Coin works wonders. Philippe chuckles at that. He produces a small flask from a pocket and takes a little sip. But you, Sophia, you disappoint me. I expected to see a functioning organization. I'm told what you have here is not a secret society, but a miserable rabble of the worst people in the city. Just look at this self-proclaimed priest squad. We are in Anizot, this hotbed of heresy and rebellious idea. How come you aren't able to find a skillful conspirators here? I need a nice little revolt that's easy to suppress. I need a network of spies to dig up dirt on anyone who may stand in our way. Is it too much to ask? You did the job perfectly well in Eterna. What's the matter, Sophia? Can't you do the same thing again? Sir Philippe, Brante and I are going out our way to get more people into our ranks. But things are not looking too good for us right now. The province has a new overseer. The citizens are hopeful and they expect change. So the only people who come to us are from the very bottom of life. This rabble is dangerous. They will ruin my plan and they will bring you and Brante to the gallows. And this time, I won't be able to do anything for you. Get rid of them and find conspirators who can be trusted with real work. I have too many enemies here in Anizot. The local magistrate alone is a huge thorn to my side. You have to act faster. Time is of the essence. Or maybe you have more important things to do than serving the Empire. We are doing everything in our power, Sir Philippe. But in order to prepare your plan, we must recruit as many people as possible, and this is what we are doing. Don't try my patience, Sophia. I said get rid of the rabble, find real conspirators, carefully vet each and every one of them. Sophia lowers her head, unable to further argue with the powerful advisor. Philippe suddenly turns to you. Brante, you're the main recruiter for the society. What do you say? Can you do this job for me? You confirm Sophia's word. The secret society needs to quickly recruit people, even if they are vagabonds and crooks. You take a quick look at Sophia. She nods at you faintly. You look at Sir Philippe in the eyes and say firmly, Sophia is right. You cannot gather an underground movement if you disdain the support of paupers and vagabonds. Or, as Sir Advisor calls them, rabble. After all, you declare, you do not need to prepare a real uprising against the government. All you need is a small riot of commoners doomed to fail. And for this purpose, those bastards will do. Your words of support reinvigorate Sophia. She continues to argue her case. That's my point exactly, Sir Philippe. Philippe frowns in disappointment. You're both so confident. So be it. Recruit any fanatic or street scum you want. As long as they are helping us to reach our goal, I don't care. But remember that you will pay with your life for any mistake. None of this rabble should be aware of our true purpose. I advise you against testing my patience. You're one straw away from breaking the horse's back. Speaking of straws, I believe the secret society needs a name, right? The last straw will do just fine. It's simple, grim, and pompous. The lawbonds ought to like it. Oliver, I'm leaving you in the care of our rebels. Show them how real secret chancery agents get things done. Philippe downs the last of his flask and walks out of the print shop. Sophia shares a word with you before following him. Thank you for backing me up. You have to do Philippe's dirty work. If we have to do Philippe's dirty work, let's at least do our way. Alright? With that, Sophia waves goodbye, scowls quietly at Oliver Moss, and walks out the door. You are left alone with Oliver, the sinewy man chuckles. We're gonna get along just fine, Brante. Don't worry. Now, Oliver here is that we can't let it suffer too bad. Okay? We can't let the spy network feel like we should keep it between 3 to 6, okay? So that it becomes easier for us when if we want to bring it down. Okay? Because we need the unrest to go over 8. Wait, not that. Favored by the overseer. The Brante family. Okay. You help the magistrate regain control of Anatol in exchange for protection against the secret chancery. Do that. It's not that. We're going for the free city. Not this one. Wait. Glorious Bloodline? I remember there's another one, right? The Lost Rock. Okay, this one. So, this too. Farewell Advisor. Spy Network. I'm not gonna make the Spy Network high. Wait. I remember this. This one here. We're gonna do this too. 9 to 10. I wonder if I can get it. Like, we can't let the Spy Network fail too much. Because if we do, well, we just focus on more unrest rather than Spy Network. Your affection. The last rock is growing stronger by the day. More and more names are being added to your list of potential recruits. Dress fancy tomorrow, Brante. Don't look too rich. We're going to a salon. A gathering of young poets. They are all commoners, mostly new believers, so they think they define their lot by writing poetry. They'll be the first meeting. This will be their first meeting ever. I say we take a gander. Who knows? They could be useful. You go to the small building in the very heart of the city. The first floor was once a tavern, but it has been converted to a stage with benches for the audience. The place is noisy and crowded. Those who cannot find seats squeeze into the spaces between the benches. You and Sophia stand in the back corners, far away from each other. A young man in a threadbare jacket makes an announcement. Welcome to the first weekly gathering of Anatol Poetry Service. The poets are all young men and women. They all take turns walking up the stage from the benches to read a poem or two of their own creation. They look humble and shy at first, but as they declaim their stanzas, their voices ring with sudden strength and daring fervor. A mighty giant with his head held high, his heavy tread, his trained and measured stride. He is an effigy of lowborn life, with naught but calf and rags and duff inside. By lowborn labor and granted food and clothing, he is indeed a terrible sight. But look behind his eyes, you will find not grandeur or renown, but fear and loathing. Behold the azure skin and the breath of contempt. Their past long turned to ash, their blue blood bled. Their majesty in flames, their mantles rent. And scone in diamonds white and rubies red, their gleam rings giant rods, his essence spent. Their gems may glitter, but their heart is dead. The poem recited on stage displayed exceptional variety, rhyme couplets, blank verses, short stanzas, lengthy cantos, pathos-laden ballades, vulgar screed, humorous epigrams, scathing tirades. But in each and every voice you hear the same pain, the same weary ache born of servitude, the gnawing grievances with the gods, the simmering rage against the empire, and dreams of another destiny, another life, another existence. A commoner, the word is like a brand. The twins themselves once told me to be silent. I want to scream. I can't take this anymore. The misery knows me no end. The gentlefolk just beat us and demean us, the young, the old, the poor, the sick, the tired. They tread upon us, gazing at the heavens. They feed upon our sweat-soaking suffering. Every poem fills the room with loud applause. Every line resounds in people's heart. This much is clear from their faces. Some mark every word and words with a nod, while others cannot hold back tears. Give me a second. Hey. With the seal of preachers guiding their flock to their lot, these young poets chastise the ills of worldly life with every word they utter. You join in the applause. Like it or not, their poetry hits home. Some of the poems are crafted so well, you find yourself eager to read them. This kind of poetry would be great demand here in Anatot. What a shame if no print shop would agree to publish it. Well, later that night, you rejoin Sophia to discuss what you have seen. I've never heard anything like that before. I'm used to nursery rhymes and body drinking songs, but this, it's something else. You cannot help but nod. The meeting was like a sermon, and the poet's words hit as hard as the true sacramental lash. And the audience, you recognize the look in their eyes. People look at Sophia just the same way as every time she used her magic. The thing is, they have no magic. They can see the truth, and they talk about it so well, you can't even stand it. What can I say? I'm glad we went. Those kids could easily spark a riot with just a rhyme or two. But the question is, what are we supposed to do with them? It's a good question indeed, a difficult question. These young poets are at the strongest when they speak from their heart. Trying to tame their ardor would be playing with fire. You could recruit them, but it will not be easy to use them. If you cannot keep them in check, one day they will inevitably recite a rebellion. Maybe it would be wiser to nip this in the bud and put an end to their society right now. The Secret Chancery could easily deal with them, but you could also report them to the prefectures. The Gandalfs could take care of them in no time. Or maybe you could pass the case along to Father. He might do his career some good. Okay, now let me think. If I recruit the poet, of course they're gonna incite unrest. But like that's the main point. Okay, we need to recite unrest. But I think we can. We are not gonna fight with Philippe. Like we are hoping for the spy network to fall. So that's what I want. Recruit the poet. Publish a book of their poetry. I think this is good. With a smile, you assure Sophia that you know a way to harness their youthful ardor. Oh yeah? Okay, do it. In spite of her lowly lot, your sister has been writing poems and stories ever since she was a little girl. As Gloria grows up, she easily found like-minded friends, poetry-inclined commoners like her. and you saw a number of her friends on stage tonight. Now that you think about it, you half expected Gloria to be there as well. Yeah. Back home, you tell sister how impressed you were by the Poetry Society. As the owner of your own print shop, maybe you could compile their works into a book of poetry. It would be the Empire's first book of poetry written by commoners. You can turn a half-handsome profit and make the poets famous all over Magra. Gloria tells her friends about this idea. Wow, I never thought you had the nerve to try something like this. Bro, I have a word with my friends. I'm sure many of them will be interested. But there's one thing, they'll never use their real names in the book. Otherwise, they get into trouble with the prefecture or the secret chancellery. Are you sure this is a good idea? Can you really trust the people at your print shop? Maybe you should do all the work yourself at night. That way nobody will know, and you have to distribute the books in secret too. You shouldn't put your freedom at stake for the coin. Not to worry, you assure Gloria. You have thought of everything. The poets' real names and origins of the book will remain a secret. I can't tell you how happy this makes me. There are so many talented poets in Anathoth, and they've never even hoped their works would see print. They'll treasure your gift forever. It does not take you long to get started. The compilation entitled The Voice of Anathoth is soon ready. You instruct Alida and other last straw spies to sell the book in secret all over the city. Well done, Scammel. When it comes to this job, young Alida is more eager than ever. After all, many of the poems in the book are dedicated to the suffering of those who struggle against tyranny, including those who died in the Eterna after the trial of the 50. You sell several hundred copies in a matter of days and receive many requests to print more. Popular, rare, and banned by the authorities, the book turns a significant profit. You keep working on new print runs and sell them easily, even at 3 times the price of a normal book. The poems are quoted all over town. They are all over town. They are declaimed by young people in the squares and streets. They are put to music and sung in taverns. They are written in paint and sewed on the walls. More and more of young people are recite them instead of prayers. I want to scream, I can't take this anymore. Uh-oh. We can't bring it down anymore. If we bring it down anymore, then, you know, we're dead. Well plus 2. God dang! Yeah, manipulation. Give me a second. 2 powerful lords have been struggling for power in Magra for over 2 years now. The new overseer of the province, Gaius Tempus, cannot seem to rein in the obstinate spirit of the Archduke Tarquinius Milanidas. Unwilling to accept that he is no longer the overseer of Magra, the Archduke still stubbornly continues to assert his rights to rule to the province. Most of the Magra gentry who swore alliance to him generations ago remain loyal to him even now. Gaius Tempus has publicly demanded the Archduke recognize the overseer rule as legitimate. I am the voice and the will of Emperor Uther II in the province of Magra. All lands, deeds, and titles notwithstanding, Archduke Milanidas must obey his sovereign will and heed his decree. I hereby extend to the Archduke an offer of peace. Should the Archduke cease insubordination, his lands, deeds, and titles should remain his own. The Archduke's response to the overseer was openly defiant. Since the day of yore, the land of Magra belonged to the Milanidas dynasty. We are part of the empire, and we are Emperor's loyal servants. However, our dynasty will not stand for such intrusion upon our lawful rights and privileges. Never before has an Archduke been stripped of his right to represent the Emperor's rule in his own province. But do not forget, Sir Overseer, that the highest noble families of Magra have sworn fealty to me alone. Neither the Archduke nor the Overseer will relent, but both are too powerful to be readily disposed of. The bad blood between the two Archnians has lasted far too long, and the common people have begun to pay the price for their strife. Strip our Overseer tax privileges, The Archduke Melendez had decided to impose his own levy on the citizens and villagers of Magra. The commoners are now forced to pay taxes twice, first to the overseer, then to the Archduke. This double burden has too much for the common people of Magra to bear. Many have refused the second tax outright as a lawless measure, but the Imperial Legion, led by young Darius Orton, is ruthless. Eagerly and without mercy, the Legion soldiers collect the Archduke's due in cities and villages alike. So this one is gonna be useful for us. It's gonna foment unrest. A gift for the family. I think this one will be the last one before we end the stream. Okay? This last year has been an ordeal for your family. The pains taken to the ennobled by the sword, the close attention to the city's aristocracy, the squabbles between Stephen and Gloria. Tonight, your preoccupied father has gathered the entire family around the table in the backyard. The sun has almost set. There is a soft breeze, but instead of a meal in the open air, you're going to attend a family meeting. In the middle of the table, you see an open gilded box. It's full of jewels. Archduke Melendez himself has bestowed this gift upon us. It is a prize indeed. I thought you all had a right to know. Father unfolds a letter beside the box. Sir Robert Brante, I bestow this precious box upon you and your family as a symbol of care, with the care which I treat the people of my province. Pray accept the gift, and remember with whom the loyalty of the true nobles Magra lies, the Archduke of Magra, Tarquinius of Melendez. The family stands in amazement at the jewels sparkling in the last rays of the sunshine. It was quite a fortune, but the Archduke is fully aware that I am the side of the Prefect Elborn and Overseer Gaius Tempest. Could he really expect our loyalty to be brought so brazenly? On the other hand, the Archduke is not demanding anything for us, and our family has borne a lot of expenses recently. Father, no one is forcing you to side with the Melendez. Who are we in comparison to the Archduke anyway? We must not anger him by refusing his gift. The jewels are certainly welcome. They are worthy of being shared with the best families of Anazot. It will pave our way to the nobility of sword. Mother shakes her head glumly. Oh Robert, I have a feeling this gift bodes ill. It may be an impertinence on my part, but I do not want our family to be indebted to the Archduke. Certainly not. Accepting gift from Melendez. He is infamous for oppressing people with the commoners and robbing the villagers blind with his taxes. This isn't your decision, Gloria. It's a matter of our family's honor and reputation. Please don't start bickering again. Let Scamu say what he thinks he should do with this gift. Oh boy. More than 3. Okay, sell the jewel. You insist that the Arctic jewels should not be declined, but the family must not be given away either. Your family treasury needs an infusion of cash. The family wealth is as important in the eyes of society as its noble reputation. I don't know, Tsukamu. Money comes and goes, and your family honor is here to stay. You object, reminding him that in your own lifetime, the family has already fallen out of favor and risen again. For the nobles, a family reputation is just another form of currency. Is there truly nothing more important than money than reputation? Archduke Melendez is a villain like no other. Our family ought to stay away from him. Simmer down, Gloria. I agree with Tsukamu. Let it be so. I'll send a note to the Archduke expressing our humblest gratitude, but I also point out that I don't mean to change flights. I still serve my prefect and my overseer, and in the meantime, Tsukamu will see to the family coffers. You promptly take the precious box and go inside to and start taking an inventory of the jewels. Mother, Gloria, and Nathan follows you with forlorn looks. You sell the jewels and easily amass a considerable sum. Your efforts have ensured that the family treasury will not run short of anytime soon. Oof. Maybe another, because I'm trying to find something that I can use to make the thumbnail for tomorrow. Sophia has accomplished a lot over the past year. The last straw now consists of over half a dozen cells that know nothing from one another. There are several informers gathering rumors and news. Many citizens support your cause and are ready to help. The ranks of the underground society include the honest rebels eager to bring Empire down, as well as thieves and thugs willing to break any laws as long as they get paid. As more and more people join your insurgency, rumors begin to spread throughout the city. It will soon become impossible to conceal your existence. The last row desperately needs a public figurehead, someone to act as a patron of your secret society, someone who can justify your existence to the authorities. You choose Mayor Egmont. He has earned a fortune and made a name for himself thanks to the silver mines, and now he's the leader of the Magran Lesser Forum. Rumor has it, he's eager to get in touch with someone from the underground. If there was ever the time to meet, it's now. Fortunately, you know people who know people, and soon enough you arrange a meeting. An empty warehouse late at night. Ooh, maybe this. All the workers have gone home. A dim lamp is the only source of light in the spacious facility. The two of you are alone here, free from prying eyes. Up close, Egmont turns out to be a broad-shouldered middle-aged man in a pricey frock coat. He wears no jewelry, but his beard and mustache are well kept. Only the grey hair at his temples betray his age. He offers you a warm, rough hand. It is callous hand of a man who had to work all his life. You shake it readily. The industrialists offer you a seat at the nearby table. Truth be told, young man, I know your family quite well. I had the honor to be introduced to your grandfather back in the day. Unfortunately, Sir Gregor Brante wasn't exactly delighted to meet me. But your father, he's a staunch supporter of Elborn. We've often come to see eye to eye. He and I. Let's see if you can find some common ground too. I'll be frank with you. I know quite a bit about what you're up to here in the episode. You're building yourself a functioning underground society, and you've done it quickly, and all without getting caught. I say you got it. You got an eye for business. But tell me, why are you doing all this? What's your goal? What are you trying to achieve? Please be sincere with me. I'm the last man who wants to see you reported to the secret chancellery. We are. You were prepared for this question. Egmont listened carefully and you gave him a short speech on the coming rebellion against the Empire. First in Anizot, then in Magra. When you are done, the industrialist lets out a sigh. Ambitious, determined, but utterly senseless. Let's say you do manage to foment an uprising against the Archduke, against the Overseer, even the Emperor himself. Well, what then? What are your demands? Who do you want to listen to them? If you ever negotiate a deal, then with whom will you do it? But what about your terms? What will your relationship with the Empire be like if your revolt succeeds? Give me a second. So we need him. The Free City. Secret plot. We need him on our side. So far, Tsukamu, I've heard no answers to these questions. To be honest, I'm quite confident you don't have any answers. But fortunately for you, I do. There's also one self-evident fact that I'd like to bring you to your attention. Whenever someone discusses authority or power within the Empire, there's one thing that never seems to raise any doubt. Prefects and commanders, magistrates and overseers, they are always nobles. Any position of power, only for the nobles, landowners, always nobles. Who rules over the Anizot? Overseer Tempest or Archduke Milanidas? No one can say for sure these days. Either way, no matter who they are, nobles rule the city. But a city isn't a castle or fortress. A city is more than the total sum of the walls and buildings. A city and its people, the commoners who work and trade and live there. They always have been and always will be more of us than the nobles. We are this city, Brante. You've never been to a meeting of the Lesser Quorum, have you? I won't bore you with the details. Let me put it this way. It's the only place where common estate has the same right as nobles. Sure enough, they're arguing. There's contention. There's a fight every time we meet. But as we argue, we contradict each other. We find a new way, one that takes everyone's interest into account. But unfortunately, right now, the Lesser Quorum only has authority to discuss issues related to taxation in the province. But if you and I come to an agreement, this will change. I spent most of my life making the idea of quorum a reality, and I swear to you on my life that it works. This is the only way to bring something new to the Empire, by giving the commoners power and the nobles the same power. Eggman is shouting now, his eyes shining with excitement. He is utterly engrossed in this idea, and you feel he actually believes in what he says. And here in Magra, we have a chance. We had no way to do it in the past, back when Archduke Milanidas is in charge, but now Gaius Tempus represents the Empire authority in Magra. Tempus still can't find a way to share power with Milanidas. He needs all the support he can get, and you and I, we can give him that support. And Scamu, are you aware how Gaius Tempus ended up becoming the overseer of Magra? He was too progressive for the capital and his fellow Archnians. He went too far in his attempts to make nobles and commoners equal under the imperial law, and he was exiled to Magra for his troubles. And yet, Gaius Tempus has never abandoned the idea of making the estates equal. He was the one supported the creation of Lesser Quorum. He's well disposed towards the lowly estate and tends to listen to reason. We can make him our ally, and your uprising could be the deciding factor. If you manage to seize control of the city and hang on to it, if we can prove we are able to outrun Anizot, if the citizens show us their support, then we have a lot to offer the overseer. In return for making Anizot a free city, a city-state, if you will, governed by the Lesser Quorum, you will recognize Gaius' authority in Magra and support him in the power struggle against the Archduke. If noble and commoners come to govern a city together, in just a few short years, it will become obvious to the entire empire how advantageous this arrangement is. And then, the old tradition will have no choice but to step aside. I understand things like this will take time, but you prepare for the revolt. I support your underground movement with all the power and funding at my disposal. As long as you say you walk toward this future with me. Mayor Eggman lets out an exhausted sigh. Delivering such a fervent speech is no easy task for a man his age. He reminds me of the Persona 5, the Toranosuke. Like, he is Toranosuke in my eyes. After a moment of quiet, you agree. You say this is a future worth fighting for. The last straw will support Eggman's plan. He promised to spread his vision of the free city of Anizot, first among the rebels, then throughout the city, starting immediately. You shake hands. Once the conversation is over, you leave the warehouse and walk back through the dark streets of Anizot. You have made a promise, but what are you going to actually do? There's a kernel of truth in Mayor Eggman's words. The age industrialist plan would actually work. It's no longer a pointless revolt doomed to fail. Dangerous thoughts began running through your mind. Could it be best to abandon the idea of the free city of Anizot and report this meeting to Sir Philippe? Shh, keep this conversation as a secret. In your report to Philippe, you claim that Mayor Eggman was more careful to you than you expected, and your attempts to come to an agreement with him were unsuccessful. You claim that the industrialist is putting money into the struggle of commoners' rights, but cleverly disguises it as charity. In the end, you reported. In the end of the report, you assure Philippe that you will find a way for the secret chancery to connect Eggman's action to the underground activities and the brewing revolt. However, you cannot do it right now. You expect Philippe to reply with a furious letter, but as day goes by, you do not receive a single word from the secret chancery advisor. The silence feels more menacing than any threat. Okay, we have the secret plot. Well, you join Eggman. Okay. I think this is where we end, okay? Because like, I'm planning to use this as my thumbnail, okay? And with that said, I hope tomorrow, like, well, without that tomorrow, we're gonna like, go with, we can get to the last straw, I think. Let's just check a while. Okay. We are. If we take a look here, like we only left unrest over more than 8, and last straw riot, like a bit more, and I need to make it fast. Okay, and let me check. We are at 3, so we're just maintaining it so that Philippe will be taken over. But then will we be safe? Not interested in that. I think maybe we can do this. Favored by the overseer. The Brante family now has enough influence to protect you against Sir Philippe's wrath. Favored by the overseer. What's favored by the overseer? Your reputation 8. Heir of the family. Oh my god. How can we remove him from the heir? Family at peace. Unite the family. Well, we can do this. And then hopefully mother recovers. Oh well. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll continue this tomorrow, okay? So with that said, like hopefully tomorrow we can get to the last straw and the starting of an uprising, okay? And hopefully, and then it will spread out throughout the empire. With that said, I'll end the stream here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.